Everyone who lived near the foothills knew about the place they called the Magic Forest. No one agreed on why it was magic. Some said it rearranged itself. Some said time moved oddly there. Others claimed it hid a stairway to another dimension. Mary entered just after noon, following a trail that looked reliable enough. Tall trees closed in overhead, and their leaves filtered the light into a green hush. The air smelled damp and old. The place felt watched but not hostile. After a while, the trail thinned. Later, when she turned around and tried to retrace her steps back, it was gone. Mary tried not to panic. She told herself she had walked worse terrain before. She chose a direction and stuck to it, and when that seemed wrong, she chose another. The forest responded by offering her the same view again and again, the same fallen log, the same crooked pine, and the same patch of moss shaped like a question mark. By late afternoon, Mary admitted that she was lost. She sat on a rock and drank the last of her water. The forest hummed softly around her. There was no wind and no birds, just a stillness deep enough to feel intentional. Mary wasn't a religious woman, not really, but desperation has a way of flattening beliefs into something simple. "Please," Mary said aloud, feeling foolish. "I just want to get out." She did not specify how she wanted that to happen. The forest remained silent. Then Mary noticed the stone. It was not a monument or a shrine. It was just the first step, pale and clean, rising directly out of the forest floor. Then she saw an other step, and then another. A stairway climbed straight up through the trees, higher than she could see. It had not been there a moment ago. Mary stood slowly, her heart pounding. The steps looked ancient and untouched at the same time. Moss crept up to their edges, but never crossed onto them, as if the forest itself respected the boundary. This was a way out, she thought. Mary began to climb. The forest fell away as she ascended, and the trunks slid past like dark pillars. The air cooled, and the light brightened. Her breathing steadied. With each step, the panic loosened. She was sure this was the answer to her prayer. Mary climbed for a long time. She climbed long enough that her legs began to ache. She climbed long enough that the forest below dissolved into haze. She climbed long enough that she stopped expecting the top and simply assumed it would arrive when she deserved it. But it did not. The stairway never changed. There was no landing, no door, and no clearing. There was only step after identical step, rising into a sky that refused to offer anything in return. Exhaustion crept in, followed by doubt. Had Mary misunderstood? She sat on one of the steps and looked down. The forest was gone. All she could see below her was mist and distance that stretched farther than she could safely climb back down. Fear tightened her chest. Mary stood, swayed, and grabbed at empty air. The stairway did not respond. It offered no comfort and no guidance. It existed only to be climbed. She understood then, with a clarity that felt cruel. The stairway was not a way out. It was a way up, and up did not lead anywhere. Her legs trembled and her throat burned. Staying meant endless effort. Going back meant endless descent. Neither felt like salvation. So Mary chose neither. She stood at the edge of the step as the mist below shifted, but feared no promise. Her body leaned back, even as her mind leaned forward. She closed her eyes. She stepped off. The fall was brief and violent. Leaves rushed up to meet her. Pain exploded through her shoulders and hands, and the air punched out of her lungs. When Mary could breathe again, she lay on her back, staring up at branches and ordinary sky. The stairway was gone. There was only dirt, trees, and the soft, familiar noise of the forest moving again. When Mary stood, saw, and scraped, she noticed something she had not seen before. A narrow trail just a few feet away. It led downhill. She followed it. After a while, Mary heard water. Then she heard voices. Then she heard the unmistakable sound of a road. At the edge of the forest, Mary turned back once. Nothing in the trees suggested that anything extraordinary had happened. There was no stone, no mark, no sign, just trunks standing quietly, as if they had done nothing at all. Mary left the magic forest at sunset, bruised and tired and strangely calm. Later, Mary would think about the prayer she had spoken and understand what it had given her. The knowledge that not every path leads somewhere, and that sometimes the only way off an endless climb is to stop believing it, owes you an ending.
This story appears in the book Classic Rock Fiction, Short Stories Inspired by the Greatest Music Ever Recorded, available on Amazon. Story written by the Midnight DJ.